everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, let me just remind everybody that Russia's attempt to meddle with the 2016 election was in fact an act of war. No bullets were fired, no bombs were dropped, but not all acts of war involve violence. For example, embargoes and sanctions are acts of war. So, the Russian attack on our election was an act of war. And any U.S. citizen who encouraged or assisted the Russians in doing that attack could be found guilty of treason. And this is one of the reasons why the Trump administration has been trying to cover up their part in this since before he got into office. Now, there are some people who will say that there is no evidence that Donald Trump was a part of it. But the truth is that there is a ton of evidence. First, there are all the meetings that members of the Trump campaign had with the Russians. As a matter of fact, it seems like every day we find out about new meetings that haven't been disclosed. Which brings us to the second piece of evidence, which is the cover-up itself. Every member of the Trump administration who met with the Russians lied about it. This is evidence of what is known as guilty knowledge. In other words, they knew that they were committing crimes. They knew they were doing something wrong. And Trump has been as big a part of the cover-up as anybody. That's why he fired James Comey, the FBI director, and that's why he constantly tries to distract us all from the Russian investigation. And there is another thing that he just can't hide because he did it in public. The week before WikiLeaks released the hacked John Podesta emails, Trump knew they were coming up. He said so in public. At one of his rallies, he told his supporters that there was going to be big news about John Podesta, which means that Trump was in on the crime. Now, Trump once said that he could shoot somebody in Times Square and his followers would still support him. And what he was basically saying is that they are so stupid that nothing that he could do would cost him their support. And that is indeed true. Now, there are a lot of people who supported Trump and who voted for Trump who now don't support him anymore and wish that they hadn't voted for him. They thought they had a lot of reasons for voting for Trump, but they didn't think that he would continue to be the idiot that he is when he got into office. They thought he was going to change. Now they see what he's really about, and they don't like it. But there still is 35% of people who approve of Trump. These are his hardcore supporters, who are basically too stupid to change their minds about him. But that 35% makes up 80% of the Republican Party, which is why hardly any Republicans in Congress have deserted Trump, and some, like Devin Nunes, for example, are participating in Trump's cover-up. And this is why the Republican Party has lost all credibility. They can't talk about patriotism anymore. They can't talk about American values anymore. They're as much a part of Trump's treason as Jared Kushner and Jeff Sessions. Thanks for listening.